This channel is dedicated to teaching you how to be a better mixing engineer and music producer. And those things are usually not done by me, because I'm not a mixing engineer or music producer. I'm just a drummer. But in the pursuit of providing you with different insights and different ways to understand the mixing process, we actually decided to run a little experiment here in the channel. And for the last few weeks, on the live stream that we do mixing a song live, I have been the one behind the mixing board, attempting to mix my first song for the first time. Even though it sounds kind of funny in concept, which it kind of is, it has been a very insightful process, and I have learned some very fundamental things about mixing at a theoretical level at this stage that I want to share with you, and hopefully it's going to be useful to you too. So I'm going to be bringing some bits and pieces out of the live stream and intervening, sharing with you what were the most important lessons that I've learned out of trying to mix a song for the first time. So without further ado, let's get to it.
What's the plan for today, dude?
Well, I just got here, so I have no plans for today, which shall be interesting. One of the most important things that I've learned throughout this process was my first failure, not having a plan. And a plan at this point in time doesn't necessarily mean knowing exactly what you're going to be doing. I'm talking something at a more fundamental level, knowing what kind of sound you're pursuing. If you're sitting behind the board and you don't have a vision for your sound, you're gonna be basically a headless chicken, going nowhere and anywhere. Even before you start twisting knobs or pushing faders, you need to know, you have a clear vision of what kind of sound you're pursuing. And you're gonna let that vision, you're gonna let that idea guide your moves, and then you're gonna be able to form a proper plan with that in mind, having that particular aim. I suppose now will be a good time for us to listen to what we got at this point and decide what we're gonna do next.
Do it!
One thing that kind of stuck out to me on this last run,
Yes.
was that I want the guitar to be a little bit more defined.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's give it a shot. So I'm gonna start with the low end, and let's see what we can do from there. I started off with the left, and then I went to the right, and I cut some of both.
Yes.
Which frequency, don't know. How much, don't know.
That's what matters.
But
Did it feel better?
I think it felt better. I think it kind of demuffled a tiny bit the guitars. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. Still work to be done. I want you to work on the highs, to push it. I don't know if I'm truly happy with the cut that I did. But
I would go a little bit more aggressive, man.
Yeah.
Because I think you hit golden.
The second very important thing that I learned out of this attempt was that sticking to your guns is monumentally important. Second guessing yourself basically is the main ingredient in the recipe for disaster. Because if you kind of doing something that feels correct, but then you start to question, but maybe this is too much, maybe this is too little, then you're adding that overthinking that can only lead to second guessing and bad moves overall. If something feels right, pursue that. Don't let it go. Don't be fooled by overthinking. Okay? So
Your turn.
Let's give it a try then. I'm pressing play. Okay, Yeah, actually, the suggestion of going a little bit more aggressive with the cutting makes sense. I feel that what was doing is doing better now, and I don't think we lost the core of what we needed to maintain. So,
Of course.
all in all, reasonably satisfied. Another thing that I learned that's very important is that you should be quick, because the quicker you are, the less space you're giving for doubt. If you move quick, you're actually being moved by what you hear, not what you're thinking, and that's gonna deliver, of course, more musical results. It might feel a little bit counterintuitive, especially at first, because I can tell you from my own experience now that it felt super odd trying to move fast. I felt that I needed to be very slow and conscious because it would be more meaningful, my moves, or more well thought out. But in reality, all that did was give more room for the overthinking, more room for the second guessing, and make all of my moves worse.
Yeah, here Robbie's saying that he hears a honk at certain frequency, but I won't say which one.
Since I'm already in the middle of something, before I tackle the honkiness, I want to finish what I had planned for the guitars, and then I'm gonna try to focus on the honkiness that's been exposed by the two of you. So let's go for it. Okay.
Damn, I don't know what I'm doing. Face was awesome.
If I'm looking lost,
It's because
I'm only looking half as lost as I feel.
well, not all of those who are wandering are lost, man. So
Oh, that was beautiful. Man.
yes, yeah.
Did you just come up with it?
Yeah, of course I did. No, it's to quote George R. Martin. I think it was not necessarily bad, man.
Yeah, but the plan was to add a little bit more of the definition to the guitars, and I do think a definition was added.
Bad. The honkiness is still there, man.
Yeah, well, I didn't address it. I did something else.
Yeah, you didn't give a damn.
No,
Okay.
no damns given.
Yeah, clearly.
Look, I'm feeling kind of contrarian today.
I can say it.
So I don't want to hit the bass just because you told me to.
Okay.
Because F you, I won't do what you tell me kind of
Okay.
thing.
Look at that.
No, I will, but once again, since I'm already at the guitars, and this might simply be how my brain works, I want to conclude what I'm planning for the guitars, and then I'm gonna move on to the bass. Jokes aside, there's a point to this whole contrarian attitude. Because, especially in the beginning of a mix, in the early stages, there are all sorts of problems or all sorts of issues that require your attention as a mixing engineer. And if you just allow your thought process, your train of thought, to be derailed by every new issue that you spot, you're not gonna go anywhere. So it's very important to actually keep a focused mind when it comes to that and sticking to your guns once again. If you feel that this is what needs to be addressed, address this, and then you move on to something else. I'm not saying that what I did in the live stream is necessarily a good move, but I think it's sound in principle. And of course, the more experienced you become, the more knowledgeable you become, you will be able to trust even further your intuitions and your instincts, and you won't mess up that badly whenever you stick to your own guns. And further down the line, doing this is what's gonna allow you to actually have a sound of your own, something that differentiates you from other mixing engineers. I'm gonna try to beef up the guitars by pushing the lows. I don't know if that's actually gonna work, but I'm gonna try it.
Well, you're facing low end issues, but whatever. Sounds like a good idea. Go.
It sounds like a fantastic idea. Let's see.
Totally a plan.
Yeah, so let's see. Okay, I did something completely different from what I expected. I cut. A good measure of humility is also very, very important here. because you gotta recognize that sometimes what you're planning, the idea that you have in your head, simply doesn't work. And if that's the case, you need to be humble to throw your brilliant idea to the bin and stick to what works.
I wanted to see, and I saw that my plan was dumb.
And what you saw?
I saw quite a lot of low end
Many
and becoming
things.
rumbly. So I decided to go the other way. I cut a little bit, just a little bit.
So basically, those are the biggest lessons or the biggest things that I learned out of attempting to mix a song for the first time. It has been quite insightful. I'm enjoying the process, and I hope these lessons resonate with you. If you disagree with any of what I'm saying, because many of you are actually gonna be more experienced than me when it comes to mixing, if you think that any of those insights are incorrect, please let me know in the comments below. And if you think that I'm going somewhere that makes sense, please let me know as well, because this is only the beginning of my journey. And if this is your first time here in the channel, I welcome you. I invite you to subscribe to the channel, to ring the bell, like that you're gonna be notified whenever we release videos like this one, or whenever we go live mixing as well. And if you want to support us even further, leave a like to the video, drop a comment. You don't know how much it helps us. Now, only one thing left to be said, it is that you should never let anybody tell you what you dream about, and remember that I'll see you when I see you.